How are you guys loving the new series that we're doing? Pretty bomb, right? It's amazing. I just dated myself saying bomb, but yeah, it's pretty amazing having all of these millionaires, multimillionaires, even billionaires on the show, showing you what's possible and what you can achieve and the type of success you can have. If you haven't got your ticket yet for the Chicago Wealth Consciousness event, October 2nd and 3rd, you need to get on it, get your ticket, get in the room. We are going to help you transform your life and business. We're going to show you how you can start enacting certain systems inside of your business, but also expand your wealth consciousness so that you can start having your highest cash months, get into your multi-million dollar vision and capacity for your business, and start making that money inside of your business. Working with me and my team during those 2 days are going to transform your life and your business in ways that you never could imagine. This year, we are heavily concentrating on business, and we're also doing the work that's going to get you their identity work, but also teaching you how you can start creating your high ticket offer and attracting premium clients, but also how you can be the authority in your industry and stand out brand. All of that's going to be there. How you can leverage your social media. We're going to be talking about all that. It's going to be the most transformative weekend. It's going to quantum leap you and your business to that next level so fast. Whatever would have taken you 2 or 3 years to do, maybe even 10, we're going to get done in 2 days. Trust me on this. My intensives are amazing. And this room, you're going to find your best friends in this room. Get your ticket, book your hotel. I'll see you there. I really want to talk to you about what I believe is going to be an expansive conversation. I've helped 51 women scale their businesses to $1 million and multiple millions, and I've helped 346 women hit their highest cash months. And the reason why I've done that is because I was able to find limits that they didn't see. And for many women, they think that it's a time issue, why they're not making more money. When I want to tell you that I believe it's a capacity issue. A lot of the women I work with, they're like just tapped. They're done. They don't have any more to hold on to. And they're like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do more? And I know for many of them that are waking up at 5 a.m., they think the earlier I wake up, the more I can get done. But I know that if there is more hours in the day, you're still going to be doing busy stuff. You're not necessarily going to be making more money because you're not in a state to receive more. I know that many of you are meant to be making more money than you are right now. And that's not to say that you're not making a lot right now and it's probably really great. However, it's like if you're at capacity, let's think about like a cup being completely full. If you're at capacity mentally, emotionally, and energetically, where can you put more in there? I've always said we have to make room for receiving more, right? But if you're at capacity, there's no more hours in the day really to do the things that you want. And like I said, if you're already waking up at 5 a.m., you're squeezing everything you possibly can into the day. You know, where your homegirl over here is waking up whenever she's done sleeping. Not saying that's a right or wrong. I'm just saying there's a way that I wanted to live. I wanted to enjoy life. I realized that having a to-do list with 1,000 things on them or even 20 things on them or 10 things on them is not how I'm going to reach that millionaire status, because having myself do more was that very masculine way, you know, like Alex Hermosi or Layla, which, you know, lots of respect for them. They're doing incredible things, but I don't want to build my business with that mentality, because for them, it's like at all costs, we're going to be all in, and they want that, right? They're doing that. We're going to be working night and day, nonstop, all hours, missed weddings, and yeah, okay, that's what they want to do. And you have to push, force, and make things happen. I lived that life before. And let me tell you, I ended up on a yoga mat having a bust down cry and realizing all the things I achieved left me feeling very unfulfilled. Because doing things over and over again doesn't necessarily equate to feeling satiated in your success, right? Let me ask you this. If you really had more time in the day, what would you do with it? Would you spend it being? Would you spend it enjoying it? Or are you spending it try to do more? And I tell you, it's not an hour thing. It's not a time thing. It's a capacity issue. If you're tapped out mentally and you're already running on full tilt, I can't tell you how many women, they're like, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. My schedule is completely busy. And I'm always like, that's the trauma response. Being really, really busy. That means your nervous system is very dysregulated, that you cannot be. You have to be moving all the time and regiment. It really does leave you feeling exhausted and not feeling very fulfilled. Everything is timed, mapped out. You're overgiving. You're still wondering, like, you know, why my income has not matched how much effort I'm putting out there, right? And I know you're making money. I get it. But just making money does not always equate to fulfillment or feeling like you are doing something that's making you feel like you can literally compound that effort, right? And I've talked about this many times. When someone's in survival state, which they don't even realize that they're in survival state, but when you're working nonstop and you are like completely tapped out, that is a survival state. Those are clues. You know, if you feel like you you have to wake up earlier and earlier to get everything done, that's a clue right there, right? If you feel like you need to have naps in the afternoon, I mean, hey, I'm not knocking a nap, but if that's the only way you get to function, that's a clue. If you're not getting the sleep that you want, or really, you know, creating a life where you feel like it's not owning you, but you're owning it, that's a clue, right? The first thing I start with a lot of women is like, what does your dream day look like? Are you waking up with an alarm? Are you waking up at the crack ass of dawn and having to go get your workout in because that's the only time of the day to do it? I don't know. What is it? What does it look like for you? For me, that's not what it looks like. My body does not function that way. People want to know why I'm aging backwards. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm getting my sleep. I'm not waking up with a dysregulated nervous system every day to an alarm clock busting me out of my sleep at 5 a.m. I'm like, that's when your REM sleep is happening. That's when you're in deep sleep, right? Not when you're like, I got to get up. And again, I'm not knocking it. I'm just telling you what my experience is. Listen, if you love that 5 a.m. wake up, that is power to you. And almost every one of these women almost not all, are, talking about their 5 a.m. routine. I get it if that's how you want to function. However, I feel like there's another way. There's an easier way. So what women don't realize is they don't have to abandon the way they do things. And you don't have to start from scratch. You can start making $50,000 to $100,000 a month and beyond. It is there for you. Making $100,000 a month is so much easier than trying to make $100,000 in a year. And for many of you, you're making way more than that as you're listening in. But this shift is very subtle and it's very powerful in what you can do. Now, I talk about this a lot and I want to really talk about this in more depth with you. So the things that I'm really genius at that I feel like clients come to me is taking their honey, which I call their genius, their whatever they're amazing at, and really putting it into a premium package, a premium offer, so that they can start attracting premium clients. When you are, let's just talk it logistically, right? Like this is some business coaching I'm going to give you guys and some business acumen. But when you have an offer and you say you're selling it at $1,000, right? And you're putting everything in this offer. Maybe your delivery time is 10 hours a week on this offer, right? And you're thinking that you have to give and do more and pack everything in there in order for the client to pay you that $1,000. Now, what if I told you that maybe even reworking that offer, removing maybe 90% of probably what you have in there, because it's probably just put in there as things, because that's how you're looking at your misaligned client that's coming in just so they can pay you the $1,000, and structuring it where you have an ascension system where you have $1,000 offer, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 and beyond, or however you want to do it. It could be 3 offers, 2 offers. And you start pricing it on what the value is for the person who is looking for that solution. A lot of the times people are out there looking for like your high premium client, a high premium client, and I would call myself one of them. I wasn't always in the beginning. I really did the work to become this woman who is. I'm looking for solutions. I've invested, $180,000 in the last couple of months because I'm looking for solutions in my business. Our businesses have problems in them and need solutions for many different things. And when we hire certain people that are experts in their field, we're going to pay them for their expertise. We are looking for people that are the best at what they do. They have conviction in their marketing. They're like, hey, I'm going to help you get this result. Those are the people that stand out from the crowd. They're the ones that like, I'm looking for who's the best at what they can do. I'm willing to pay you for that. Have there been times I've hired people that maybe were the best and they couldn't translate to a result? Yes, it's happened. But I take full responsibility for that because maybe I didn't search more, or maybe I stopped at the first person, or maybe I wasn't really clear on what I needed, right? However, most of the time when I've hired people and they've come in to solve a problem, they have. Now, when we are pricing our programs and our services and our offers or whatever it is, at a place where we're just looking for buyers and not people who are solution solvers, we're going to attract the wrong client to our space. Premium clients are not looking for discounts. They're not looking for deals. They're not shopping based upon the price of a product or a service. They're looking for a solution to a problem and they're willing to pay whatever it is for that problem. Everybody should have a $10,000 or $15,000 offer in their business. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever, like a naturopath, an engineer, a CFO, whatever. You should have a high level service where there's a touch point, proximity to you. A lot of people don't have this. Low ticket offers are great. However, unless you have a huge audience or you've got a big email list or you've got a big client base, selling things at $1,000 or even lower, you're going to have to turn over a lot of sales in order to make the same $100,000 with somebody with a $20,000 offer. They only have to sell 5 in a month. And people think because it's $20,000, it's harder to sell. I don't believe that. Just because something's lower doesn't mean that it's easier to sell. Because even at $47 or $27, the wrong client will take forever to make that decision, but the right client will make it quicker. When women come to me and they invest in my programs, they come, and I've worked with thousands of women, and they're like, I'm ready. Like, how much? Those are the clients that I absolutely love, because that woman's there for a reason. She's looking for a solution to her problem. She wants a premium offer. She wants to attract premium clients. She's at capacity. She does not know how she's going to make more money, because she's full, and she's like, all right, I need something to change. She knows she needs to have a support team. She wants to know how she's going to go about doing this. She also wants a personal brand. How is she going to stand out from the rest? Be the authority. They come to me for that, right? And also shifting their mindset around money and wealth. That identity work is absolute number one. Now, if you aren't someone charging like what you're really valued at, what your services are valued at, you're going to get misaligned clients. I was using this example when I was making a YouTube video. Say you're looking for cardiologists, you're not going to be shopping around for the cheapest one, are you? Like, that's your heart, right? You're like you got something going on. You're going to be looking for someone who is the most convicted, can get you the result, and you're going to be willing to pay for that because you're looking for a solution to a problem. I'm using something so drastic as that because that's how value-based people are investing. And you want to attract people that are looking for a solution, not just looking around for a deal. Those people looking for a deal become the pain in the ass clients. They are not premium clients. They're people that are in scarcity and have a lack mindset, and they're looking for, what am I going to get for my dollar? And those people never have the greatest results in your programs, or it doesn't matter who they are. They're the ones that aren't coachable, think they know more, and they do whatever. They're poaching clients inside your group. They're the quickest ones to default on their payments. They are a pain in the ass. But a lot of the times people are attracting these types of clients that need hand-holding. They're not self-accountable. And they are the wrong clients. I had a mentor that used to say they're mother effers, motherfuckers, because they're come in and they really will mess up your mojo inside your business. You don't want to have those types of people coming in. So attracting premium clients means having premium offers, but also having a premium brand and having premium messaging and being able to strategically put yourself in such a way that you are the authority in your field where nobody else is standing out, only you. And there might be 10 people offering the same solution, but because you've positioned yourself in such a way, you've been able to present your honey in such a way that it is like the only solution, then people are going to come to you. They're not going to go to anybody else. They're going to come directly to you. And yes, you're going to be getting your clients lots of results because they're going to speak for themselves because you've got a system in place. Now, I feel like people who pay get a transformation. People who just listen to this podcast, read my book, or just watch my videos, they're going to get a shift. Yes, absolutely. But the people who pay, they pay attention. The people who are ready to invest, they want closer proximity. They're like, I want to get this result faster. Those are the types of clients that you want to attract into your space. They're the ones that are like, all right, I feel like you have something for me. You're gonna solve this issue inside of me or inside my business. It's like, all right, let's get started, right? That's who you want to attract. The work that I do inside my Wealthy CEO with the women that are in there, it's about getting them to the highest level of conviction in their marketing, creating premium offers so that their premium clients find them, and that they're doing this on repeat, standing out in their brands and actually positioning themselves in places where their premium clients are going to be looking for a mentorship or solution to their problem. So when women are tired of trading time for money, they don't want to be doing one-on-one all the time. They want to leverage their time. They're looking to lessen their capacity so they can spend more time with their family, themselves, and their friends and go do the fun things in the world. They're like, all right, it's time to work with Shamina, right? Because I know that one, can be making way more money. And two, I need to restructure some things. And these are easy tweaks to be made. They're not like massive. Like I had an attorney that came to work with me and she was selling prenups. And I was like, listen, we got to work on the estate planning. We got to rewire this because if you're spending time on prenups, those are great, but they could be an ascender up into the estate planning, but you really need to work on the estate planning because people with prenup, they got a bit of money. And so it's a matter of restructuring how she was doing her business. And, I had a naturopath come to work with me and she really didn't want to work. She didn't want to sell this one offer. This offer was making her almost $100,000 a month. I'm like, all right, you don't want to do it? Give it to a team member. We had to restructure how she was doing things. And a lot of the times we are our own bottleneck inside of our business and we need to change that. So if you're ready to get to your next level, message me and send me a message on Instagram and DM me on there and let's talk about it. You're ready to collapse time between the gap of where you are and where you want to be. I'm your mentor. Now let's go back a little bit. I want to talk to you about how we are attracting premium clients. It is a couple of things that make up the equation. One, it's where your mindset is. Are you positioning your offers with the ability of the prospect to pay, the potential client or the potential patient? Are you thinking, well, I'm going to price it at this because it's going to be a no-brainer offer for them? Think about that. That in itself does not attract premium clients. It attracts people who are looking for red tickets, that are shopping at Ross and Marshall, which is nothing wrong with that. I don't do that anymore. But they're looking for a deal. And when you have people coming in for a deal, it doesn't matter what result you get them, they will always say it was never enough because you didn't fix everything plus a kitchen sink for them. They're looking for you to solve all of their problems at that one low rate. That's the thinking. So that first starts with your money mindset and your worthiness. And are you letting that unworthiness wound really dictate how you're charging for your services and then what type of clients that are coming in? Now, if you've got more premium clients, you don't need as many of them. And guess what? They don't harass you and ask so many questions. They get shit done. They take action. Now, your offer could be structured in such a way that you aren't attracting premium clients. You're attracting people who are looking for a lot of hand holding. They're looking for, like I said, everything plus the kitchen sink. So then you have to go redesign how that's done. Maybe your delivery is not really great on your offers, and that's something else that we look at. I look at the things that bottleneck and keep women from really hitting their highest cash months and having them get to that next level of wealth that they should be at already. Like, I know many clients that are making $100,000, but now they're making millions because they got out of their own way and how they're running their business. And yes, identity work and really working on your money mindset, your wealth consciousness. Those are very important things. Regulating your nervous system for big money, rewiring your neural pathways so you're not in fight or flight. That is absolutely necessary. But then strategically, you've got to run your business with having a great offer, attracting premium clients, but also having delivery on those offers and having it scalable so that you can take that offer and scale it to the next level so that you can increase the wealth that comes into your space. And this is what I talk about when I'm talking about the feminine flow, like having a funnel. Every single woman who has a business should have a funnel in their business because this is money you make in your sleep. You set it up one time and let it roll, right? And it doesn't even have to be to ads. It could be just right on your bio and on your social media. And a lot of the times people just don't understand how creating a funnel is like the easiest way to, one, let people come check out your information, let them find out who you are, and give them a taste of like what you could be doing. I've been doing live masterclasses for every month for 5 years. I've come to a place now where I don't love doing them all the time anymore. So it's dwindling down. So getting me live is going to mean you need to invest to come into one of my programs. There's different ways of having to show up in your business and online. And I talk about waking up, in the soft woman era, right? But running your business so you're not having to live the Alex Hormozy or Layla lifestyle where you're pushing and forcing income to be made, you're going to make it so much easier and faster when you learn to have systems in place in your business, but also having offers that convert and really bring in ideal clients. Having multiple revenue streams means having different funnels and really operating your business like a business. We use our email list a lot. That's where we do a lot of our selling. And a lot of people, what I've seen in this industry will say, oh, we don't need a website. We don't need emails. We don't need, landing pages. We don't need funnels. And I'm like, oh, so that means the entire business is dependent on whether or not you work. And if your whole entire business is surrounded by you performing and giving a result to your client, you will always be the reason the business fails or not. And everything is tied around you. I was just watching something. This guy, I forget his name, something Ray, he passed away last year. So sad to hear. People are looking for a refund from him. I guess they invested $50,000 in his programs. And they're like, well, the guy passed away now. How can he fulfill on that? Because he made his business completely determined about him. So if you didn't work with him, you weren't going to get the result. And when you set up your business this entire way, one, you can't exit it. Two, the business is completely determined on whether or not you work. And so many women who are starting businesses, and I see it all the time online, they are the only reason why that business is making money. They have no other forms of revenue, no other ways of money coming in unless they work. That is the hardest way to make money. It is the toughest way to make money. It is the most masculine way to make money. And gosh, why the hell would you be wanting to do that? Like, hello. There's other ways, My book makes revenue, my podcast makes revenue, my YouTube, my funnels, my programs, my so many different things are making money in my business. And that's not talking about even my investments, my personal investments or other businesses that I run, but this one particular business with my mentorship, this is how money is made, right? And it's a great thing because there's no limit and there's no cap. So I want to leave you with today some things to think about. Like, how are you running your business right now? Are you the standout authority in your business? Are you at capacity in your business? Are you really utilizing free stuff like the online space? Even podcasting. I teach this inside my Wealthy CEO. I teach you how to get booked on podcasts, how to run your own podcast. So many people are inconsistent, and that's why they're not making the wealth that they need, that they know they should be making. And, consistency is just keeping your word to yourself and doing the thing over and over again, right? And making sure that you show up. And just being consistent is sometimes half the battle for many people. Being able to create something once and let the revenue come in, that is golden. That is amazing, right? I'm telling you, if you have not started a podcast or if you are not getting on podcasts right now, you are doing yourself and your business a disservice, because this is the way, and it's free. It's free. Let me show you. Come join our Wealthy CEO, or maybe you're looking to join our offer where we'll be pitching for you. Send me a message. I'll show you what we can do for you, where you can get yourself and leverage other people's audiences so you can grow your own. That's so important. Your client or your potential client is out there. If they're in your audience, they're in someone else's audience, just get yourself in front of them. And it doesn't matter if you have a brick and mortar business or if you have a business that you think wouldn't benefit from it, you'd be surprised. I have a woman who owns a ballet studio, and she can get on other podcasts that talk about movements and about really bringing her unique spin on what it means to be, an adult and doing something in this era. There's so many different ways of pitching yourself to get on TV, to get on podcasts, and to become the authority. All right, this one was all over on the information. I hope that you got some value from it. I talked about it in my Wealthy CEO program this week, and the clients, we went all in on it. But I showed them specific things on how they can really maximize and utilize their offers, but also their funnels, how they're presenting themselves online. This can make the difference between a 500,000 business and a multiple $1 million business, right? Making $50,000 a month to making $1 million a month is how you structure it. And people think, well, how much more I have to do? It's not a do thing, right? Because capacity might be tilt for a lot of people. It's like, how many more things can I put in play in systems so that I can start creating wealth without having to do the work? When you're scaling your business, you should be working less and letting the business run more to make more money. It's not the other way around. And when people have to work more, they're actually doing it opposite and they're creating more problems. Like when I see someone having 20 salespeople they have to manage, that to me sounds terrifying. That's not the way that I would like to scale my business. That's a very bro marketing, masculine way of doing things, right? I got so much to say, but I hope that you found value in this podcast today. And if you haven't got my book yet, Unlocking the Quantum Woman, go run get this book. And if you have got it and you haven't left me a review yet, please hook up your girl, because it helps with book sales and helps people really get access to my book. And I really want to get that book into millions of hands.